everyone, this is our second stop in the third day. We are in Sheffield now in the United Kingdom. We just visited Port Helliwell together with Chris, another great recommendation. How are you doing today?
I'm alright, thank you.
Thanks for welcoming us here. Most of the UK fanciers must know you already, but
Maybe, possibly.
as people from all around the world are watching, and I'm also not aware too much about yourself, only Chris introduced me a bit of information. We want you to ask to make a presentation about yourself, to take it from the beginning, even asking you how did you get into pigeon sport, and in the end, of course, to present us some of your best results in the last years.
Yeah. Well, probably like a lot of other people. I started with them when I was a kid, I was 10-year-old. I'm coming up 68 now, and I've had them constantly for coming up 58 years. I've never been without them. Like everybody else, first few years I struggled a lot, but I got to maybe, I don't know, 40 odd years back. I started winning with them in my early 20s, and I've pretty much been winning well with them ever since.
Right, what methods are you using for racing? Is it widowhood?
I've tried every method going. Widowhood, natural. Now I'm racing widowhood hens and cocks, celibate. And I've done it for the last couple of years, and I just find it so easy and similar results.
Because we're in the breeding now, and we pass through the winter to the molt. How do you get through this period? And then I want to ask you what will happen in the next 4 weeks till the races start.
My stock birds are breeding now. I'm breeding my youngsters, but my race birds are not rearing any youngsters.
Okay.
They're all separate. You just go out once a day for an hour, back in, and that's it. And that's all they'll do, right up to probably the week before the first race. I'll get them a few training tosses, and that's it. We're away.
All right. And how will you start to train them? Will you train them by car as well? Do you train them just around the loft?
So out in the morning for an hour, and then in the afternoon down the road to 18 mile.
I see.
You come back from that 18-mile toss, fed and done. And when I see they're doing it right from the training, maybe 5 or 6 training tosses, then it's loft flying twice a day. Sometimes once a day.
I see.
If I don't like the look of the weather, they don't go out at all, or they'll probably just go out once.
How do you get through the winter? Do you do any treatments on your pigeons? Maybe laboratory tested?
No treatments. I go to a friend of mine over in Lancaster called Gary Spavin. He tests them for me, and if he don't find any problems with him, then they don't get anything.
I see. So to ask both of you, would be interesting to tell us how did you all meet, to get a bit back to the history.
I suppose, well, ever since being a young lad, I'd heard of Pat and seen his name on the results week in, week out when we flew in the same federation. But up until I first started doing my auctions, I'd never actually spoke to you or really met you. So I contacted him, asked him if I'd come and see him, and we just clicked, didn't we? And we become good friends.
Yeah.
Same as with Michael, really. Visited him, got on with him. Just, that's how it was with us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then just built up from there, really.
Yeah, I saw your interview. It was about 2 years ago. We saw some pigeons, which hopefully we're gonna see some new ones later. I want to ask you because the racing season it's coming. Maybe a lot of people are wondering, how do you go through a week, all the way from when the pigeons come back from the race to the basketing?
So a typical week for me would be, so they come home on a Saturday. You want some to feed?
Yeah, feed, supplementation, training.
So yeah, they're on a diet mix on the Saturday and Sunday, and then on the Monday back onto the race mix. Exercise, they locked up Saturday and Sunday and Monday morning, and I start them off Monday night. So it's once Monday, twice Tuesday, twice Wednesday, and maybe once Thursday morning. And then no exercise Thursday night or Friday.
You said you're not giving too many products. That's what we talked before.
No.
you're mainly using 4 or 5 products during the
To be
season.
fair, most of my products are in the winter. I mean, I give them the smelly oils,
Yeah.
Healthy oil.
healthy oil, when they're molting. I'm a big believer in getting plenty of stuff into them when they're molting to get nice silky feathers.
Yeah, it's a lot of people are not thinking is that important and leaving the pigeons on their own, but that's one of the most important, if not the most important part of the year, because they be using their feathers and wings to fly.
I like to see them have a good moult. I've got to think about like nice silky feathers, and I like them to look nice and polished.
I will ask you in a loft as well to show you some pigeons, but I want to ask you what origins is your breeding loft based on?
Most of my pigeons are from Macalones in Scotland. I've been good friends with them for 20 years or more, and I've got some very good CNC lambrake pigeons.
Mm-hmm. What do you look into selecting new pigeons, both from raising the youngsters and both from, I don't know, bringing new pigeons into the loft? What do you look for?
I don't bring many pigeons in nowadays. If I bring a pigeon in, it's something exceptional from a good flyer. But most of my stock birds now are retired race birds. You know, that have done well for me.
And normally, what does a pigeon need to have for you in terms of results?
Pat is a big believer in eyesight.
Yeah, I'm an eyesight man. But when racing starts, my eyeglass goes in the drawer, and I forget about that, and then it's the basket.
I see. So you're both selecting by hand, by how it looks, and also based on what results do you decide to stop racing a pigeon?
If I've got a pigeon that wins one race, that's not good enough to get in the stock loft. You've got to be multiple prize winners.
I understand. Okay, then let's get to see your loft and see some pigeons.
These are my hens. You want to handle a few?
Yeah. You can show them on camera, of course.
So this is a very good hen. Pigeon I call Britwick 55. She topped the combine from Guernsey a couple of years back. Really consistent pigeon.
What's the results she's got?
She topped the combine from Guernsey and other smaller prizes, but that's the main. That was the main one. She topped the combine from Guernsey on a tough day.
All right. And how much do you plan to race her anymore?
Yeah, she's going to get raced again this year.
This year.
Yeah.
Okay.
What were the birdage when she won the combine?
I think about 1,500. Because we're flying this new combine now, Chris, which is Yorkshire, Derbyshire.
It's 3 counties.
Nottinghamshire. It's a big it's a big combine now.
She won first federation, first combine. From 3 counties.
So what do we got here?
She's another consistent pigeon. She's won quite a few prizes in all England sprint racing. Yeah, I really fancy this one.
Yeah.
She's a young bird, only had 1 race, and she topped the fed.
All right. What's this from?
That was just a short sprint distance.
All right. And her parents' origins?
Are Vanderbilk.
Yeah. 1 race, first club, first fed. When he took the first 13 in the federation.
Yeah, she's 21 pigeon. It's been a really consistent hen. This. If she survives this year, she's one for the. She's going in the stock loft at the end of the year.
It was the most popular origin here in the UK, like for family of pigeons.
For the last 4 or 5 years, I'd say.
Lemon coasters.
Lemon coasters,
Vanderbilts.
Recently, the pigeon that Michael bought in, the cock and the hen, Laneman pigeons, they've become very popular. But what would you say last 5 years?
Lemon coasters have done well, haven't they?
Lemon coasters have been very, very consistent.
And from the ones you get from Europe, What are like some popular names besides the Air Camp, which is Michael's?
The Kirks.
Yeah, Gerard and Bass, the Kirk. Gabby van der Beerley, but that was many years ago. He's finished now, hasn't he? Air Camps.
Vanderbilt's have been good pigeons, haven't they?
Oh,
Very good. Tough pigeons.
It's different anyway because we aim to get, our main focus are marathon is Romania,
Yeah,
so definitely there are different
There's
fanciers.
some very good marathon fanciers in Belgium, Germany.
Started using that last year.
That's why you've been giving them before the race.
Yeah.
You said too.
Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday.
Nice. Yeah, you said you're really only using mainly the basics, so.
Yeah.
Impact, is that in?
Yeah, I saw it.
Product.
Use it. How do you use it? Day of basketing, the day before basketing.
Yeah, Thursday or Friday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
He asked me for something that might give him a lift, not that they really needed it, but something that might give him a little bit of a lift,
Boost.
a bit of a boost. So particularly over 150 mile to 200 mile down at coast, and I just recommended Impact for B12 element.
But I like that Seracol.
Yeah.
Yeah, I give him lots of that, especially during the molt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really important. So we got the cocks in the next section,
Yeah.
you said?
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit again about your system of racing. How do you train, motivate them, how they got to race?
So them hens are in there and they're in there all the time. So they're out twice a day, back in,
All right.
and on Friday, straight to the race. And they come back. Sometimes on a Saturday they'll mix up with each other, but I don't mind that. I'll give them half an hour or so and then I'll split them again.
All right.
So yeah, these are all my cocks.
Mm-hmm. Minerals grid. What do you do? Versalilaga.
Yeah, Versalager or whatever's available.
Oh, so nothing.
I don't really
too
mind.
special.
No.
Tell us a bit more about this pigeon.
He's a really consistent pigeon. 51, I call him.
51.
Yeah.
Nice eye.
Yeah. He's won a lot of prizes, that cock.
He's got some nice eyes. As you said
He's
inside.
very, very keen on his eyesight. But obviously the basket is the key. He does like to see a certain eye.
This is a really beautiful one.
You like him?
Yeah.
The parents to this have bred many first
Yeah.
generations. haven't
Well, he's a grandson actually.
they? He's a grandson at Black Bear,
Yeah.
CNC Lambrick.
He's another grandson. He scored out of Guernsey last year. Oh, 05, he's a Lambrick. He's flown well. He's a consistent pigeon. 05, I call him. He's flown really well for him.
It's a much bigger one.
Yeah. He's a Macaroni cross Lambrick.
So if you said you're selecting also by hand, what are some key factors you're looking at?
Results.
Results. Yeah, but you also said you look for the eye for
Yeah, I do, but bottom line,
bottom line. Yeah, races.
results.
Results.
Yeah, it's another one, 42 cock, very consistent pigeon. Cracking eye.
All the pigeons have access to aviary, don't they, Pat?
Yeah.
Access to an aviary, but they're on the back. Big aviary.
And how often do you said you do bats? Do you bath them on basketing?
When they're molting,
When they're molting, yeah.
yeah, once a
constantly?
week. And
During the racing?
And they bath, yeah, again once a week, bath in there,
Okay.
safe. This is one of the best pigeons, a pigeon I call Sea Biscuit. She was an RPRA award winner. Racing machine, this pigeon. Well, she topped the Fed 2 back-to-back races. One from Falaise, which is 320, and then 2 weeks later, she topped the Fed from Le Mans, which is 385, and she won.
Topped the Fed twice, sprinting.
Yeah, she topped the Fed twice, in the sprint races. And other minor prizes, and she won an RPRA award for that. Yeah.
Impressive, you know. So, how many pairs have you got in
There's
here?
20 pairs in here.
20 pairs. We are at the finish of our video. Chris, thanks again for bringing us here.
problem.
Pat, thanks a lot for
You're
welcoming
welcome.
us here. We saw some great pigeons. You can write your comments in below the video. If you want to ask Pat something, maybe we can visit him next time and find out
Yep,
more.
yep.
And thanks all for watching. Wish you a nice day here from the UK.